Judah, 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 Gaga. Why Christians are upset about the new Judas Iscariot trailer. From Anime Relatable. Never heard of you.
Judas.
Now, did this video make you mad because of what the video says, or because of what the video's talking about? I'm curious. I like the look of this bunny.
Yeshua.
I hate to do this, and I don't really have to, but I think there's an opportunity for God to use anything for his glory and to point people to himself. Romans 1 talks about how creation speaks, and because of that, people know God exists. That's kind of what I'm trying to do here. Take the anime that you and I enjoy and use it to point people to their need for Jesus.
Not the first.
In my time as a Christian, I realized that
I will say, shout out Beneath the Tangles. This motherfucker has been doing this for like 15 straight years. And obviously still is, because this was written fucking 3 days ago. I don't know if they still exclusively write like from the Christian perspective. I mean, it says it right here. And I say shout out because we were mutuals back in the anime blogging days. I have strayed as far from God's light as you could imagine, but not that I was ever in God's light in the first place, but you know, whatever. Oh boy. Alright. No, Lapushi, I can tell you don't like this video. I as soon as I heard what he was saying, I was like, oh, alright, okay.
lately, there's been a rise in creative Christian content that's not only Christian, but also really good. Projects like Gabriel and the Guardians, The House of David, The Chosen, and What Had Happened Was, which is currently in production right now, are setting a new standard for Christian entertainment. Whether that's fiction, drama, historical fiction, fan fiction, whatever it may be, it's really good. We're in a good era. Now, some Christians don't like these shows because they feel like the Bible is being taken out of context or being misrepresented.
Good for Christians, I guess.
But most of the time, these projects begin with a disclaimer saying this isn't the Bible. Go read it for yourself.
Please read the source material.
Liberties within reason. During my short stint in seminary, I took a few Old Testament classes where our professor taught us how to view characters in a narrative as round, flat, or functionary. We also learned how to understand the type of scene the author was depicting. Those tools helped me see that the Bible isn't just full of static characters on my page. There's transformation happening in the lives of people impacted in the Old Testament, and especially through the life, death, and resurrection of Jesus. And because of these tools, or seeing the Bible this way, it made the characters so much more relatable. Now, there's a big difference between that and what I'm about to show y'all. There's a fully funded Kickstarter project called Judas Iscariot that claims to be an animated adaptation of the New Testament.
The man who's been inciting my subjects with his
fucking furry Bible.
Radical teachings. They call you the Messiah, the Prophet.
Being a Christian furry must be seriously hard.
The Son of God. Is this you?
If you say so. Tonight, all of you will have your faith in me shaken. Amen, I say to you. One of you will betray me. One who I call my own.
People of Jerusalem, what will you have me do with the King of the Jews?
Abba, my father, why have you forsaken me?
Father, into your hands I commend my spirit. Father, into your hands, why have you forsaken
hopefully
me?
This show, and I don't know if this person's a Christian or not, on his page, it doesn't really say so, but in the Judas Iscariot Instagram page, it has a Matthew verse in it, and so I don't know. I'm
Jesus
hoping
and
that
Judas are gay in this too. Well, this will actually be badass. That
this new animated film will also have that disclaimer as well, but you just never know. And I feel like with the way it's already going,
he was like in his bedroom before,
it might not,
right?
To
he
be
didn't
honest,
have like all this
like a cool
floating
idea.
around.
There
before,
are already
right?
shows and movies out there with
Was I not paying
humanoid
attention?
animals and it's pretty cool. It's not a new concept. Honestly, a furry adaptation of the New Testament, kind of fire, and I think it's cool in the sense that it might help connect the gospel to the furry community.
I just heard an adaptation of the New Testament described as kind of fire.
A real prevalent subculture, like in Acts 17, where Paul quotes Greek philosophers and poets who connect with his audience, or 1 Corinthians, where Paul says he became all things to all people so that he might win some. That doesn't necessarily mean we accept the sinful
It does look kind of fire,
but using any means to bring the gospel to different communities can be a really, really cool thing.
He's back in
that
the Funko
said,
Pop
a lot of
room.
Christians on Twitter are in an uproar about this film. That's how I found out about it. And while I do think Christians can sometimes overreact to things, I think they have a right to be upset. And here's why I think we have a right to be concerned. In a now deleted post, I couldn't find it on the creator's page anywhere. It was stated that Jesus and Judas are in a Yahweh.
Yahweh! Yahweh! I feel like I must have heard someone say that once in my life at least, right? Like, that can't be the first time I've heard someone say that. Wow. Yahweh.
Relationship.
Wild.
And for context, Yahweh, also called boys love, is a
stick with boys love from now on.
genre of Japanese media focusing on romantic and often erotic relationships between male characters. And that's already a red flag, mainly because the work of art is supposedly depicting Jesus and not in a way that lines up with any agreed upon biblical source material.
Agreed upon biblical source material. How many sects of Christianity are there? Divisions between one group and another are defined by authority and doctrine. Issues such as the nature of Jesus, the authority of apostolic succession. Biblical hermeneutics is the study of the principles and interpretation concerning the books of the Bible. Theology, ecclesiology, which is the study of the church, the origins of Christianity and its relationship to Jesus, its role in salvation, its polity, its discipline, its eschatology. Why am I learning so many fucking words trying to figure out how many goddamn sects of Christianity there are? May separate one denomination from the other. Okay, how many are there? Major branches. Christianity can be taxonomically divided into 6 main groups: the Church of the East, Oriental Orthodoxy, Eastern Orthodoxy, Catholicism, Protestantism, and Restorationism, Adventism, Anabaptism, Anglicanism, Baptists, Lutheranism, Methodism, Moravianism, Quakerism, Pentecostalism, Plymouth Brethren, Reformed Christianity, and Walden Zionism. Okay, what the fuck ever.
Continental Reformed, Presbyterian, Evangelical, what the fuck even? Come on, this is not real. Evangelical Anglicanism is just angel twice. Congregationalist and Reformed Baptist, Anabaptist Christianity itself includes the Amish, the Apostolic, the Bruderhof, Hutterites, Mennonite, River Brethren, and Schwarzenau Brethren.
Swedenborgians, Christadelphians. Holy mother of fucking fuck. Jesus Christ.
It feels more like it's kind of pushing an
But yeah, there's definitely an agreed upon version of the Bible.
agenda under the guise of creative liberty. I don't know, maybe some people would be like, oh, this isn't
Creative liberty, like what everyone takes with the Bible every time they open it.
pushing an agenda, but to be honest,
Neon Genesis Evangelion, yeah, I could have been listed in there too.
everyone is pushing an agenda. In a Q&A, someone asked whether Judas and Jesus would still kiss on the mouth, because I'm guessing they did. The creator said yes, which is interesting. Yes, like Jesus walked closely with his disciples. He lived with them. He ate with them, probably even joked around with them. The gospel doesn't tell us every single detail of Jesus' life. And that does allow creatives to fill in some blanks in like The Chosen or The House of David do. But portraying Jesus in a Yahweh-style romantic relationship changes a major element of how the New Testament depicts Jesus. Like,
I do think it's funny how many times he is showing the gay fan art while complaining about it.
he had no romantic partners. He didn't show romantic affection. His love was
he's literally mad because Jesus isn't gay. He's not mad that it's gay. He's mad that it's claiming to be a depiction of Jesus who was not gay, according to him. Because no agreed upon reading of the Bible has ever suggested that Jesus is gay, because there's totally an agreed upon reading of the Bible that's definitely
church, whom he laid down his life for, and that is everyone that believes in him and trusts in the finished work on the cross. Like, The creator of Judas Iscariot.
Holy motherfucking shit. That's some sexy furry Jesus art right there. My main goal is to make the characters feel like real people rather than static religious figures, while placing them in a more accurate political and historic context than what is usually depicted. In doing so, I'm straying from the source material slightly, but trying to keep the heart of the text at the forefront of the story. However, it ends up becoming. I got really into the idea of depicting Bible characters as furries after this drawing I did of Saint Sebastian. After that, I thought, what about the crucifixion? I mean, it's fucking adorable that this even exists. I like Jesus Christ Superstar. This feels like it's in that vein of like just barely religious enough to still be kind of a religious, like kind of like, yeah, God, like I guess Jesus was kind of a cool guy, you know? Gary says Jesus did kiss Judas on the mouth. That's canon. Exactly. Jesus and the apostles were kissing all the time. Exactly. I think the subtext of Jesus Christ Superstar could be taken pretty romantically.
It calls it an adaptation of the New Testament, but admits to using outside sources like the Gnostic Gospels, which are widely considered fake and untrustworthy. Even he admits that in the same Q&A, and I do really appreciate that level of honesty and transparency that he's taking it from. Like, at least Christian viewers won't be blindsided by the details that aren't biblically accurate. But here's the issue. Gnosticism assumes that there's some hidden mystical spiritual knowledge that only a select few people have access to, and that's just not true. The biblical gospels were being read, taught, and memorized by the apostles in the early church in the 1st century. The Gnostic texts came later, 2nd century and beyond, and don't carry authority or authenticity for that matter.
He said he wanted to use the Apocrypha to flesh out the story, and he's like, but that makes it less authentic. He said that. That was the note. He's like, hey, it's probably not going to be as authentic, but I want to make it more like a real story. Because the Bible is not a very well-written story.
The creator's main goal seems to be to make the characters feel like real people rather than static religious icons, and I respect that.
Why? No, you don't. You're arguing why you don't respect that.
When you read the actual Gospels, you are reading about real people, not fictional characters. Their emotions, fears, hopes. You can see all of that there. You can feel the devastation when the disciples lose their rabbi. You don't need a furry adaptation to experience that death. Even though I do. I like The Chosen. I really like The House of David. You don't need these shows to show that depth either. So, like, although I have serious issues with the trailer, especially the depiction of Jesus and Judas, I do see a sliver of hope, though, even with its...
He's like, I'm gonna watch this gay shit because at least it's Christian cartoons, and I refuse to hate it. I want it too much. I'll just bitch about it being gay.
Laws. Maybe this could lead someone to explore the true Jesus of Scripture. What gives me some hope is that the creators...
That's just a normal level of cognitive dissonance for a Christian. I'm not surprised that is, like, easy for him to parse, like, to just put that away of, like, looking forward to show, completely against the entire message of the show.
Said he's trying to stick to the heart of the text, even if he's straying a bit from the source material. And if that heart is the New Testament message, that Jesus lived the perfect life we cannot live, died the death that we deserve for our sin, and rose from the grave, then I think God could use this to draw people to himself. Jesus says in John 12 that he will draw all people to himself. A relationship with God is available not by performance or perfection, but by grace through faith alone. It includes people from the furry...
said I want gay furry Christian fanfic, but Hazbin Hotel is going to fill in that void, I guess. Indeed. And hell of a boss for that matter.
Furry community. God loves us so much that he gave his life for us. That includes folks in different communities as well. And he's calling all of us into a full life relationship with him. You know, I don't know. There's a lot of good and bad here, and I just think it's kind of wild how people are getting mad that Christians for Christians for not understanding their communities, yet when Christianity is misrepresented, people don't understand why Christians are upset. It doesn't really add up, and it's unjust scales. I think, like, this isn't honestly, like, and as someone who enjoys anime and relating anime and...
On which day did God create anime? The rest day. He didn't put any effort into that one. Just like every animator, he squeezed anime out right before the deadline and then crashed.
Appreciates a good Christian, like, animated story or anime if it ever comes. I think Christians really do have the right to be upset, because violating something that billions of people
Violating.
hold dear, and you're expecting us to just like roll with it, and you know that's not okay. But it's all love to the creator though. Like,
this story has passed my personal boundaries, and I am literally offended, but it's all love. I mean, I guess that's good Christianity, right?
I mean, my first time finding out about this thing, and you know, hopefully I might watch it. Hopefully I do. I don't know how long that John's going to be. It's fully funded, so I'm sure that John's going to come out soon. But I think Christians do have the right to be upset about this.
It's possible that there is a regional slang that I don't know, not aware of saying that John's, like describing a thing as a John's. I'm used to saying that joint, but that is something that Christians can't say, so I'm wondering if he's like replacing that joint with that John's.
That John's going to come out soon. But
I've just never heard somebody roll it like that word through their speech. Then again, I don't know anybody who says John in real life. We don't do that in Virginia, so
I think Christians do have the right to be upset about this. And I know some people have gone so far to like be really nasty about this, like other brothers and sisters. Like, and I think while you are okay to be upset, you should not hurl insults. You should not show any type of threats to the creator of this show, because we have to realize, you should realize, that even this person that has misrepresented the Christian faith through their animated film, for the sake of controversy or whatever, this person is still made in an image of God, and God is also wanting to be in a relationship with them as well. So how about we just
when people ask me if I'm Christian, I play them this at Electric Chapel. That's exactly what Bird would do. If I was gonna make something Christian, I'd go right for the devil. Suck the devil's dick. Everybody sing it with me. In hell.
A king with no crown. I'm just a holy fool, baby.
You've all seen the Lil Nas X video.
It's so cruel, but I'm still in love with Judas, baby. I'm just a holy
I gotta go to bed. It's been 6 hours. Oh.
fool, baby. It's so cruel, but I'm still in love with Judas, baby.
No, if I end it right now, it'll be 666.
Whoa, I'm in love with Judas.
No, I missed my shot.
Judas. Whoa, I'm in love with Judas.
Oh, god damn it.
Judas.
If I had ended the stream like a few seconds earlier, it would have been 6:06:06.